Thank you. You guys are great. Y'all can have a seat. Everybody, welcome to Sports Talk on this first Thursday, the month of April. Can you believe that we're already on spring break? It's already been spring break for some schools, but we hope if you're on spring break that you're having a time of your life, relaxing before you gotta go back and hit the books. My name is Ed, and I'm alongside my partner Jesus. Partner, I know it's been a while, and I know you're under the weather, but how you feeling tonight?
Been all right, partner. Under the weather a little bit. Just seen some Lakers. The Laker game was it felt like an intensity playoff game, but we'll get to it in a bit.
Yeah, we want to welcome everyone that watched the Laker game. Lakers go down tonight, 123-116 against Golden State at the crib. We'll talk about that in a bit. Plus, we'll talk baseball. Angels are getting ready for their home opener tomorrow against Cleveland. The Dodgers are getting ready for their next matchup, the undefeated champion Dodgers. So we'll talk about that. And then UCLA women in the Final Four. Can they make it to the big dance? We'll see. Also, the NFL draft is near. We'll talk a little bit about that, but let's talk about top story, which is tonight's game. Lakers go down in defeat tonight against the Golden State Warriors. We mentioned 123-116. As my partner mentioned, it was a playoff intensity feeling, but unfortunately, the purple and gold unable to get the victory tonight.
Yeah, and it seems like in that Western Conference standings, every game matters for the last 6, 7 games um, left in the schedule for the team. So it's gonna go down to the wire for sure in the West.
Yes, we do have a little bit over a week and a half left of the season. You mentioned every game is counted for. They did have a big win earlier this week against the Houston Rockets, but this loss is going to hurt the Lakers as far as moving up, but it helped the Warriors because now they're getting closer to where the Lakers are at. So let me ask you, is it time for the purple and gold to start freaking out?
Not freaking out, but they have to step it up and win these important games down the stretch because as LA dropped to the 46-30 record, now number 4 behind Denver and Golden State, which is one game back of LA now. So it sets up a massive stakes over the last final 6 games. But at this point, yeah, they have to step it up.
Now, if the Lakers do finish in the fourth seed, they will have home court in the first round, but they'll play the fifth seed, and then their road to the playoffs will be a little difficult than it was about a month ago.
Yeah, so the Lakers already secured the head-to-head tiebreaker with the Golden State, but this loss pulls the Warriors within the game in the loss column with 6 to play, 6 games each from Golden State Warriors left in the schedule and 8 for the Lakers.
But they had some big wins as of late. We talk about last Saturday night, they beat Memphis, and then they ended up beating Houston on Tuesday. And then now tonight, even though they went down, but still they got the wins where they needed to win.
Yeah, and that's why the Lakers are in that third seed because of those 2 big important wins against 2 of the top Western Conference teams.
Yeah, Steph Curry coming off a 50-point game, really blew it away tonight. 37 points, 13 out of 14 from the free throw line. Him and LeBron James almost had the same amount of scores.
Yeah, it seems like everybody had a great night besides Luca, who only had 18 points.
As we preview the remaining games for the Lakers, they have the Pelicans coming into town. Then they go on the road for, I believe, what is it, back to
Two
back?
games. Yep.
So they're at OKC twice.
Correct.
Then they go to Dallas, the last matchup of the year there. Then they come back to take on Houston. Then they go to Portland. And then for the Warriors, actually, I want to repeat that again. I'm sorry, I got confused here. So the remaining games the Lakers are against the Pelicans. They got two with the Thunder, which is going to be key. They still have the Dallas game, which they should beat. And then you have teams like Houston and Portland to wrap up the season. We all know what happened about 20 years ago when it came to Portland with Kobe Bryant, with the famous three-pointer to force overtime, and then the infamous three-pointer to win in the division. So let's see if something like that could happen this time around, partner. Uh, Meanwhile, for the Warriors, they have pretty much a kind of an easy, maybe not difficult road. They still have to face the Nuggets and then the Rockets, and then keep your eye out for the Suns who are trying to get into that play-in tournament. So those three games are crucial. And then they have to play the Spurs, which should be a winnable one. Portland too, and then not sure about this last one, but they wrap up against the Clippers.
Yeah, and it depends how that game goes. It could go down to the wire. But I already see reports of there's been a lot of reports. It's so close that we could see a Lakers and Clippers in the first round in the playoffs, which would be crazy.
Yeah,
But
but
anything pretty
let's
much can
review.
happen.
Let's review this 6 games, partner. Who's got a tougher road? Because I'm looking at the Warriors' schedule, and 4 of the last 6 are against playoff teams.
Yeah, I feel like the Warriors' schedule is more tougher these last 6 games because the Lakers could easily beat the Pelicans. Pelicans already rested their starters for the rest of the season, so they're gonna be playing the bench Pelicans. OKC, they might bench their whole starting unit as they're up. They're in the first place in the Western Conference by more than 10
Yeah,
games.
they got that spot locked up. So I mean, there's nothing left for them to play for.
Yup, definitely. And Dallas, they might play a little try hard, get that Anthony Davis revenge game in which Dallas are still in the playing tournament with the Suns trying to compete for it. The Houston Rockets is another big game, and I think Houston Rockets will come back and beat the Lakers at Houston. Then Portland should be an easy last game of the season to get that victory and see where the Lakers land in that Western Conference standings.
Yeah, and then you look at, I mean, you with the new rules, they have to at least play their starters, but they could bench them. But again, um,
Yeah,
the Thunder have nothing left to play for. They got everything locked up now. It's just try to get this last week and a half in um, before the playoffs start. And it's going to be a very interesting last week and a half between these two teams.
yeah, for sure, partner. So this was this loss did hurt the Lakers a little bit, but at the same time, kind of not because
I mean, it kind of
of
did.
the
It kind of did hurt them, partner, because I'm look other games tonight. Minnesota won. They beat the Nets. Memphis won in Miami. So those are the teams that are ahead of the
oh yeah,
Lakers. So
you're
because
right.
those lost, they kind of went up a game on both.
Yeah, so I just put the standings on, and there's 3 teams in the Western Conference who are tied in that fifth, sixth, seventh spot, which is the Warriors, Grizzlies, and Timberwolves. And can't forget the Clippers, 1 game behind as well.
Yeah, so there's a lot for grabs in this last week of the season in the NBA. As we take a look at the standings right now, we'll start with the Western Conference. Again, the Thunder already locked up the first seed. Houston's probably on their way to finish second, and then that tight fight for third partner, the Nuggets, uh, 47 and 30, just a game back of the Lakers or a game ahead of the Lakers. And then you got the Warriors now 1 game behind them, and then you got Memphis behind them. Uh, and then also the Clippers and Timberwolves, they're in that play-in tournament, or actually, yes, they're in that play-in tournament. So Clippers are not that far behind too. They're a game out of the playoff spot. So Lot of to decide in the last week of the season. But from the way it looks like, the 1-2s may be decided. It's just more of the three to
3 to 8.
six, the 3 to 6, and then the play-in tournament. And how about Dallas? I tell you, if Dallas can get in to play-in tournament, I think they should give their coach the Coach of the Year award.
I'm surprised the Mavericks are still have a chance after what horrendous year they had overall in the
After
offers.
the hellacious 3 months that they've gone through, I mean, I'm surprised that they're in playoff mode. I mean, normally a team would give up, but not them. They hung in there tight, and just a week ago they almost forfeit because they didn't have enough players to suit up.
Yeah, because Anthony Davis came back and he's having an amazing uh, superstar caliber type of games. And I'm gonna be curious if he plays versus the Lakers in that last third to last game of the season.
You guys are kind. Thank you. So we're gonna go and switch to the East now. So the Eastern Conference, it's not quite this almost the same as the Western, but it looks like it's very, very tight. Cleveland has the best record, but they have a 5 game lead on the Celtics. I don't know if there's not enough time for them to catch up, but it sounds like the 1 and 2s are pretty much decided. And then same thing here, partner. The 3 to 6, and then the play-ins are still within the game. So the Knicks currently hold the third seed. Indiana's behind them by about 3 games. Milwaukee is just 3 games behind them. Actually, there's a tie between 5 and 6. So Pacers and Bucks and Pistons are 5 and 6, but the Bucks hold the tiebreak over Detroit. So that's why they're seeded 5 and 6. And then you look at the play-in tournament. Orlando's in, Atlanta is in. They're behind 2 games. Miami is just a game back of Atlanta. Chicago is a game back of the Heat, and then you have those teams that are kind of in the hunt, which don't think there's not enough time for them to make a run. I mean, Toronto. Look, Toronto's mathematically alive, I guess you want to say, but they will need a big uh, collapse from the other contenders, and I guess you could say the East is pretty much set, partners. Just pretty much the seeding that's kind of pending.
Yeah, the East is kind of looking like you mentioned, not the same, but close. It's gonna go down to the wire as well because who would have thought the Pistons and Orlando Magic would have been up there in that playoff run? And they're super young. They're a young squad, so
And
gotta
we
give.
seen Orlando a couple of weeks ago. They had a big victory against the Lakers, which helped them.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that big loss for Lakers. It was at Orlando, correct? Paulo Panchero went off with 30 plus points.
So JJ Redick issued a small statement, and he basically said about the playoff seeding. He says, "quote We're still building it. We're not there yet. So still a lot of things to work on there in the Lakers locker room."
Yeah, 100%. It seems like they are still working on it. They have their good games and their bad games with bad communication.
But again, you look at the Lakers, and I mean they went head to head with this team. This was like a heavyweight fight.
Yeah, it was. It was like a playoff atmosphere type of game. A lot of threes started off hot at the end. It went down to the wire. Lakers were down by 10, but they fought back and cut the lead down to 5 points at a point. Yeah, it was an insane playoff game type of game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very very difficult journey there. But
Then there's a
again,
surprising fact that Luca ended up the night with 0 threes. He normally makes at least 2 or 3 threes in the game, but he had an off night in that offensive side.
I just think this was one of the games where he just couldn't afford to um, kind of have a bad night.
Yeah, for sure. Get the ball in the hole for sure. Then how about it's gonna be tough to be honest for the Lakers in the playoffs. All these other teams have insane chemistry the whole season, and Lakers did a couple trades mid-season in which let's see if that could contribute to something.
But how much is that rescinded trade really going to hurt the Lakers though, as far as the center position goes?
Yeah, it seems like that center position is still affecting them. And the last couple games, they haven't been using Jackson Hayes for over 15 minutes, and they're just playing small ball with LeBron and Luke getting all the rebounds. Can't forget Hachimura, who came back and is having a great um, season as well when he's healthy and in the starting rotation.
But how about the Warriors though? Their starters. I mean, I'm looking at the stats right now. Curry with 37, Posimski with 28, um, and then you have Butler the third with 11, and then Draymond Green, the famous guy that likes to kick people in the nuts. 8 points in just 34 minutes though. Like, do you see an issue with him struggling?
No, Draymond Green, he's not a scorer, but he does facilitate the rebound and assist, and does a lot of physical plays in which he contributes to the team. But you got to give it props to Brandon Poznanski, 22-year-old, who just kept making his threes. He wasn't missing at all since that first quarter. That first half, he had 22 points, but he ended the night with 28 points. And you can't forget about Stephen Curry, the vintage Stephen Curry, who changed the game of basketball. 37 points after dropping more than 50 points the last game.
You and I had a conversation earlier in the evening, and you told me that this may possibly be the last time we see both Curry and James go at it. Like, is it really the? Do you believe it's the final time that we've seen these two greats go at it against each other?
That's a tough call, partner. I actually do believe it, but if they don't face each other in the playoffs this year, it could be the last of it. But knowing LeBron, I think LeBron has another year. He did get his the wind blow kicked out of him in that first half, but he just got back up and continued to fight and had a great second half after just scoring 8 points in the first half.
He played 40 minutes, partner. 33 points in 40 minutes. He was 5 of 8 from three, so he had a great game from downtown. As for the Lakers, they're scoring. It's good to have Hakimura back. He got 24 points. He played 34 minutes. Hayes had an off night, only has 2 points. But then you look at Luka Doncic, just 19 points. Struggle from the three, and then Austin Reeves, the second, he scored 31 points. Um, he played 40 minutes, but the bench was pretty much a no-show. Only only 7 points on the bench. What's up with that?
Yeah, that should never happen for a team. You need that bench unit to come in and keep the same energy, chemistry, because every time that happened, it seems like the Warriors kept on taking the lead. As you mentioned, the minutes you could tell the starters played almost the whole game.
Yeah, and you also you look at this stat. They scored 7 points on the bench, and they ended up losing by 7 points overall.
Hmm. Yeah. Imagine if those 7 points would have been 14, 15. Lakers probably would have won this game.
And they only had four guys on the bench. Everybody else didn't play tonight. Coach Reddick had like six players not suit up tonight.
Yeah, that's a lot. It seems
Wonder
like this.
you wonder if something's up there.
No, it seems like this. They're just still trying new things. Um, that's what I'm thinking. They're trying new things out, but they're just shortening their rotation. It
But I'm
seems like
not
they're gonna
sure
go
if
with
this
that
is a,
rotation
but
into
I'm
the
not sure
playoffs.
if but I'm not sure if this is the right time to try something new. I mean, this is something you do during the season because you want to very, figure out what you got as far as the system goes. But I mean, having to do this with just what 6 games to go, it's like can't afford a time to do to like go to your laboratory.
Yeah, I agree with that because they are actually getting another center back in which they have Maxi Kleba, who was and sent with the trade when they got Luca. And when he comes back, they might have to waive somebody else.
But how about the Warriors though? They went on a 6 game road trip. They won 4 of 6. How impressive was that?
Yeah, the Warriors has been an amazing team after they just got Jimmy Butler. It seems like they just turned on the Jets after that second half. I mean, that second half of the NBA season when they got when they made that trade. Because at a point they did win 9 out of the last 10 games, so they've just been on a hot one so far.
How about this though, two partners? Just want to extend our congratulations to LeBron James for reaching 11,000 points as a Laker from shooting threes. So how about LeBron James? Congratulations to him.
Yeah,
Curry may have
definitely.
changed to threes, but I mean LeBron was behind him, that's for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. Keeps on breaking records at his age, 40 years old.
But let's go back to the Warriors real quick. How about, yeah, they have Jimmy Butler, but they won this game pretty much without him being involved barely. I mean, if you look at it.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler wasn't involved as much, but it seems like when he was on the court, a lot of people were had eyes on him, but it kind of affected and it made a lot of Warrior players open in which they made the open shots in that 3 point field goal range.
Well, let me show you a highlight here, partners. This was a key moment, and this was in the fourth quarter. So Reeves made a three that got them within 5 in the closing second, but this foul by Doncic really hurt the Lakers because they fouled Curry, and Curry made both free throws, which extended the lead to 7. So, how bad of a choice was that to foul? They like
Yeah,
legit.
not just the foul, but I think Luka even got a technical foul on the extra free throw, but unfortunately, Curry missed it. But still, it's a tough call at the end of a tight contest game.
The Warriors will head to Denver on Saturday night to take on, or actually they're going to host the Nuggets on Saturday here at the Bay. They're going to go home after a 6 game road trip, so that's going to be another playoff intensity fight. Meanwhile, the Lakers are going to play this Saturday night against the New Orleans Pelicans, so that should be a game that should be winnable.
Yeah, that should be 100% winnable game. If they'll win that game, I'll call it right now. Lakers are getting swept in the playoffs, but that's super hard to even say because they're gonna win that game.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those donut games that you cannot like, lag, but you have to win. I'll just say this: if the Lakers do lose to the Pelicans, then they deserve to get their kicked.
I 100% agree.
Because think about it, if you can't beat a team, here's the thing: they still got to answer for what happened a couple weeks ago. They got their butt kicked really bad against Chicago. They got swept by Chicago. They basically kicked your twice, and not
Yeah,
just
they
that,
did.
they kicked your
Buzzer beater.
they kicked your at home by 30 points.
Wow,
You remember that?
definitely.
So this
And
is a big. This is
it,
to me. I'll tell you right now. This is a big test for me. They got to win this game. This is a must win. Even though they're playing a weak Pelican team, like this is still a must win game.
yeah, it's a must win for sure. And I even think that the Lakers are gonna rest one of their key superstars, LeBron or Luca. That's how confident they should win this game.
I think your best player to rest is LeBron. The guy is like in his 40s. Yeah, he found the fountain of youth though, but at the same time, um, at the same time, he's got to rest. His body ain't that good like it was before.
Yeah, and he took some big blows in tonight's game for
Yeah,
sure.
let's hear from Steph Curry though, partner.
Trying to lift our level of play, preparing for hopefully a playoff series, but we know every game matters down the stretch. The intensity's been crazy. That's what you love, like having something to play for is special.
You definitely awed us with your three-point shooting before, but tonight under the basket, there was some serious creativity. Do you practice the falling out of bounds, getting fouled, flip over the head, or do those things just come with the shooter's touch?
My mom always used to say I was like the clumsiest kid, so I'm good. I'm good when I'm off balance.
I love it. Lastly, this puts you within a game and a half of Denver. They're up next on your schedule. Just what's the Jimmy Butler effect on the confidence, the spirit, and everything heading into these critical games?
He doesn't need to remind anybody who he is and what he's accomplished everywhere he's gone. Just the competitiveness and the presence. You don't have to look at the box score every night. Very similar to Draymond. It's just he's going to be in the right place, make the right plays. If he needs a score, he can. He can play make. He obviously can guard. And we've been great since he's been here for all of those reasons. BP was unbelievable tonight, stepping up in the first half. Moses gave us great minutes. JK coming off his injury. So it's Jimmy and everybody. And we need everybody to win.
Congrats on the huge road win.
That's a courtesy of TNT Sports. They covered the game tonight. It was a primetime game, to say the least. But, I mean, again, I don't think they need Jimmy Butler with the way they're playing.
Yeah, I agree. Steph Curry has been on an incredible run to start this month of April, averaging 44 points per game, leading the league in points and threes in that stretch. And he's been doing that all season. But it's just that spark and that trade deadline that just made him even better.
Yeah, it's again, a very disappointing night for the Lakers. Um, we'll get you JJ Redick's reactions in a little bit, but I do want to talk baseball here, partner. So the Angels are coming back tomorrow. They'll have their home opener against the Cleveland Guardians. I almost said Cleveland Indians, but the Angels are going to come back home tomorrow.
Yeah, opening day and hopefully Anaheim, California, the capital of Disneyland. You know what matchup I'm looking forward to? I'm not sure a couple of years ago if you heard about that famous Tim Anderson. Tim Anderson is down. Tim Anderson is down. Jose Ramirez punched him in the face and
Oh
knocked him
yeah,
out.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and
I
so
think
the
you know what I
Angels
think.
have Tim Anderson, and Guardians do have still Jose Ramirez. We'll see what that brings out tomorrow.
Yeah, I remember that fight. I think the announcer was just like, I think he had orgasm or something. But I think our audio guy is trying to get a clip of that. Oh, you know what? I think he does have it. Let's see. Let's see. This was from the last time they played each other.
He just missed him at second base. This is another rocket of a throw, and now, oh boy. Now, oh my goodness. Here come the benches. Off we go. It started with Anderson and Ramirez. Swings being taken. Kopech had to hold it back. And everybody's spilling out here in Cleveland. Here's how this started on the throw to second base. Ramirez went in between the legs of Tim Anderson, and Ramirez says, get out of the way. Well, then Ramirez points his finger in his face, and that kind of started things.
Yeah, that was a right hook. Ramirez landed on Anderson, and Anderson went down. But one was a Guardian, the other one was a White Sox. You could tell who won that one.
Yeah, that one was a famous one, and I think Tim Anderson's career pretty much disappeared after that. But since we were mentioning the Angels, I think they had a good start. They're still getting their flow going. Hopefully, we see the Angels in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, they went 4-2 on their current six. They opened up on a 6-game road trip. They won 3 straight after getting embarrassed on opening day, and then they split the series in Chicago, and then they took 2 or 3 from the St. Louis Cardinals. And then Now they're coming here to play Cleveland. I think our audio guy got the call you were telling me about, partner. Let's see if we can play it.
Second, hit first slide, safe, and in the score is Jimenez. And another hustle double, right over the bag at first. Now Hosey and Anderson square up. They're fighting, they're swinging. Down goes Anderson. Down goes Anderson.
Last I checked, I was watching a baseball game, not the World Wrestling Federation.
You gotta give the announcer some props. It turned into a boxing, real street fight after that. Seemed like it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if you're the guy that got knocked down, I guarantee you're not gonna forget that. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, and I feel like even fans still cheer him on about saying that in a bad way.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you got into a knockdown, got into a knockdown fight, and then the guy knocks you down, and then you realize you're playing the team with the guy that knocked you down. Of course, you're gonna probably want to want a little bit of an ass kicking revenge, you know.
100% partner. That's a tough call for there. But overall, how do you think the Angels season goes as of this year? Do
And
they make the playoffs? Can they make the playoffs?
I mean, we'll just have to wait and see how things go. I mean, it's still early in the season.
Yeah, I agree. It's too early to tell. Every year's been a curse. The last 12 years since we made the playoffs.
It's been a long time too, so I mean, we'll see how that goes. But again, if you're able to come out to the Big A, it's gonna be a good matchup. Um, Angels Guardians this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday and Saturday will be a 6:30 pitch. Sunday will be a 1 o'clock game. So we look forward to that again. Angels off to a 4-2 start, but we do have another team here in LA, and that's the defending champion, Los Angeles Dodgers. I like to say Dodgers of Tokyo, Japan, if you catch my drift. Dodgers are off to a best start in the history of MLB involving a defending champion. Haven't seen much of this since the Yankees. I believe it was in 1993 was the last time they got off to a good start as defending champions. Can anybody beat the Dodgers?
I would say I pretty much predicted this. I feel like the Dodgers are gonna repeat this year. They have a better roster than they had last year, in which they won it, and this time they're actually doing better. With they started the year without Mookie Betts. Now it's Freddie Freeman out, but it seems like that's not giving them a problem at all, because they haven't lost pretty much, and they do face the Philadelphia um, Phillies tomorrow, in which they will be visiting. We'll see if that gives them a problem in the. But it seems like Dodgers are gonna have to be a serious team once again.
Yeah, Dodgers. This will be the Dodgers' first test on the road. They are on the road, I believe. Is that right, guys? That they're on the road and
Yeah,
not at Dodger Stadium.
yeah. Away. They're going to
Trying to get
Philadelphia.
confirmation. Yeah, they will be in Philadelphia tomorrow. Pitch start time is going to be 6:45, but 3:45 our time. Um, Dodgers will be in Philadelphia. Let's see. Yeah, they'll be in Philadelphia tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. Then they'll return home April 6th.
And top partner, talking about the Dodgers, did you see yesterday's walk off on his bobblehead night? I've seen this many times when he was in my team, but now he's doing it with this team.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Actually, partner, let me clarify. I said it also. There'll be three in Philly, followed by another three in they'll be on the road for a week. They'll go to Washington after for three. Then they'll come back home on the 11th They'll have a looks like a 6-game homestand against the Cubs and the Rockies. Then after that, they'll hit the road for three in Texas, 2 in Chicago, and they'll wrap up they'll go to Pittsburgh, and then they'll wrap up the month of April with a 3-game homestand with the Miami Marlins. So there's going to be a lot of traveling back and forth between the Dodgers and the Dodgers. Most of it's East Coast, so I mean it is going to um, really affect them this early. But I mean, for the Phillies, I mean, can we see a potential playoff matchup with the Philadelphia Phillies?
Yeah, I believe so. A couple of years ago, they faced each other, and Dodgers eliminated them. And it seems like it's always this close playoff game, just like we've seen Lakers versus Warriors. It's always a Philly and LA rivalry, especially with both teams who have great superstars and starting rotation. So I do believe it's a little bit of an NLCS preview.
Well, I mean, the last time these two teams played in the playoffs was a long time ago. It was back in '08. It was the Dodgers and the Phillies in the NLCS, and the Phillies beat the Dodgers in 5 games. So that was the last time they played each other. Haven't played since. What you say?
Yeah,
You think they're overdue?
thanks for correcting me, partner. Yeah, so I think the Dodgers won't have that. Will still have that in their mind, and they're gonna come in tomorrow and try to win that series at Philly.
To recap our top story here on Sports Talk, earlier tonight, the Lakers go down to the Warriors, 123-116. Um, it was a very, very competitive game. The playoff atmosphere, but they go down tonight, so very disappointing. Um, Partner, real quick, let's talk about the Lakers. Can they rebound from this?
Yeah, they should rebound from this loss tomorrow as they face the Pelicans on a back-to-back night in LA. It should be easy peasy for them.
Yes, it should be, but again, I believe that will be a key test right there. That too. But again, we'll see how that goes. Again, they do go down tonight. Very tough, partner, but that's why they play the game.
Yeah, tough one for sure. There's been a lot of LA sports things going on starting April. We even have the women's UCLA breaking history, I believe.
Yeah, for the first time, the UCLA women's basketball team, they made the Final Four.
Wow, we really don't see this often by the women's.
No, let's give a big
Or men.
congratulations to them.
Yeah, really tough. So so you know who they are playing next tomorrow?
Yeah, so they'll be playing tomorrow night in the Final Four. They're taking on the number 2 UConn Huskies, and that's a tough team to beat.
Yes, definitely, and it will be on ESPN 6:30 Pacific start. I might tune into that game and have the Lakers game on the side just to see what's happening with that squad.
Yeah, so UCLA is they're actually trying to go to the championship game for the first time in a long time. The last time they reached the the championship tournament was back in 1982. Actually, no,
Wow.
actually the last time they won a championship was in 1978. That was back then. It was known as the AIAW National Championship. The NCAA Championship brand began in 1982, but the last time the Bruins won was 1978. So it's been over 50 years since we've seen
Wow.
our Lady Bruins win a title.
It kind of reminds me of our ex Long Beach Vikings. Like for an example, if they would have won it, this kind of like insane what the UCLA Bruins are doing.
Yeah, we had a chance to call their basketball game against can't recall who they played, but I think it was Cerritos,
Compton,
I want to say, or Compton, but
Compton. Yeah.
or yeah, I can't recall, but we did call their matchup. But this is the only the third time in over the 50 years that they
Record.
um yeah, so just come out and well, it can't come out because it's not here, but just want to give encouragement to our Lady Bruins that we're rooting for you here, and also for you fans, we can watch tomorrow because it's a big game.
Yeah, most definitely. And as the other game is gonna be Texas and SC, and it depends how that match goes, and UCLA winning, and that will be their the final game.
And partner, we are just about 3 weeks away from the NFL draft.
Wow, already
And this year, the draft will be um, at Lambeau Field in Green Bay.
in the cold Lambeau Field.
Well, it's not cold right now, but I mean, can you imagine if they had something like this in the cold?
Oh yes, definitely. It wouldn't work out.
As they will say on TV, the non-frozen tundra of
Mhm.
Lambeau Field. And I tell you that stadium has a lot of history, especially the Papa Bear who visited with the Chicago Bears, and Brett Favre, the John Wayne gunslinger who was wounded by the bullets, but he kept on shooting. But looking forward to that, partner. Looking forward to what the Rams are gonna do. I haven't said this yet, but I have mentioned that with my friends that the Rams need to come out of this draft with a quarterback because Stafford is kind of getting up there. Don't know how long Jimmy G will be good, so I think it's time to maybe start looking into the future for the Rams.
I believe the Rams will be doing that because they have around 8 round picks, draft picks this year, which I feel like they are gonna draft the quarterback. A lot of people are saying Jackson Dart, but his word is getting out a lot. But some teams might get him, but we're gonna get a tight end as well with a future quarterback in our hands, hopefully.
Well, I'm looking at the offensive line because that's what's been giving the Rams trouble the last 2 years. They haven't really had a decent line ever since the Super Bowl win. I mean, they're looking to bolster offensive guard and offensive tackle. I mean, they're looking at guys for like I'll give you a couple names. So one of them is Josh Conley. He's the offensive tackle out of Oregon. Started for 2 years and didn't really allow pressure. Um, this past season, in 10 of the last 12, he really didn't let his quarterback get beat up. And then, another guy I'm looking at is Armin Mebu from Missouri, the OT. He's he's actually he's viewed to be the successor to Rob Havenstein whenever he calls it quits. And then um, you look at Gray Sable from North Dakota State. He's a tackle and a guard. So he can play both, and he could be a good addition to this team. And then the last guy I look at, partner, Josh Simmons, the OT out of Ohio State. He's another potential to kind of improve that line because again, Havestein, he's been there from the beginning, but at the same time, his career is winding down. He's missed a lot of games the last 2 years.
Yeah, you just mentioned Josh Simmons, right? He's one of the top guys who's on our list for the first 2 rounds. Josh Simmons, OT, which would help that offensive line, right? OT is an offensive line.
Yeah, and then I'll tell you this right now.
Gotta watch his highlights of all these players.
Yeah, you should get a chance. I mean, I'm looking for their tapes. We'll probably talk about more about it as the draft comes, but I'm also
Yeah,
looking at other positions that the Rams might need. You know, quarterback position, the inside linebacker position. I mean, that's another spot, and then tight end. You know, Tyler Higbee might be the end coming soon. He hasn't really. I mean, he just came back from that gruesome knee injury from the playoff game. Didn't play much this year, but I mean, Tyler Higbee's been there a long time, and he could mentor the tight ends. And then I'll tell you right now, you know, I'm looking at the defense, partner.
yeah,
There's
that defense. I think our defensive line it's pretty good. It's just that CB position, cornerback, in which I think we need and the linebackers, in which we released Troy Reader with the Bills and Michael Hoyt went with the Bills.
yeah, I'm also looking at the defensive line partner. You know, they're still trying to find that dominant line with Aaron Donald gone. There's two guys that the
I think
Rams
we have
are
it.
actually looking to. It's um let's see.
I think we're good on our defensive line.
Well, I mean Brandon Fisk. You saw how he did, and then you saw Jared Verse. I mean,
I think Jared Verse is the next Aaron Donald. I think we're gonna see a lot more double teaming on him this
yeah,
upcoming year.
yeah, and then you look at Brandon Fisk too. You know, he disrupts the run game. We see him, you know, stop the run.
And
And
we just added that other guy from the Chargers. He's small but good. Forgot his name.
but there is one person they do want to add, and that's Nick Scorton. He's an edge rusher. He's out of Texas A&M, and he's known for like jumping off the ball really fast. So they could really cause some problems for oppositions.
So
And then for the offense, I mean, there's two players that I have in mind, and that's Matthew Golden, the wide receiver out of Texas. He could be a big target for Puka Nakua and Devontae Adams now that Cooper Kupp's gone, and then Tyler Higbee's replacement in the future could be Colston Loveland, a tight end out of Michigan. He played under John Harbaugh as well. Um, he's a versatile player partner, and he has the ability to exceed in the tight end position. I mean, if Tyler Higbee could mentor these young guys, these guys could take his pass the torch from him and excel on in their careers.
that's what I like about this draft. There's a lot of good quarterbacks and tight ends in this draft that we could draft late. But I think our main focus, in which we got to draft first, it's a tough one. But I think we'll go defense, a little bit more defense. I think we could get some good picks on the offensive side late in the round. In the sixth round, I believe we have a round. In the sixth round, we have more than 5 picks. So I think we do something amazing. Like every other draft, we always hit with our GM, our scouting, great picks like always. But I feel like we might do it again this year.
And just keep in mind that the salary cap did change a little bit, so the Rams do have a little bit of extra cash. So let's see what they'll do. I mean, I don't know. I can't really tell. I can't really grade them well what they did in free agency, but I mean, I probably will give them an A for bringing in Devontae Adams. Probably give him an F for letting Cooper Kupp go. To be honest, I'm still not cool with that, especially now that he's a Seahawk. He's gonna be playing the Rams twice a year.
Yeah, but I feel like we're gonna use uh Tutu Atwell a lot.
Well, I mean,
We lost we lost
he was
Cooper Kupp and Demarcus Robinson, who
well,
led
he
the
was
Rams
silent.
in receiving touchdowns.
Well, he was silent this year, Tutu Atwell. Didn't really see much out of him, but I mean, I think this will be a break or make year for him. If he doesn't really excel this year, Sean McVay is gonna have to decide whether to like maybe coach this kid to become maybe a running back or something else. Because with his size, I don't know if he could be a caliber wide receiver.
I think he will. He's gonna be a special weapon. It's just like Devontae Smith for the Eagles. I think Tutu Atwell's the same size, but his speed is dangerous. He could break off that, and I think he has just a chemistry with Stafford. He used him last year, but 2 years ago he used him a lot in the slants and those special plays in which we do shotgun fake.
Yeah, it is. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But again, we'll talk more about the draft as we get close by. We'll also talk about the Chargers at a later episode. We'll also develop a week of the draft coming up in April or this month. But before we go, we do want to update you on the Dodgers. The announcement has been announced for Friday's matchups. So tomorrow at 6:45, it'll be Jesse Luzardo for the Phillies, taking on Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Saturday's matchup is Aaron Nola versus Roki Sasaki, and Sunday's finale in Philly will be Christopher Sanchez versus Tyler Glasnow, and so Saturday is a 4:05 game, so that's 1 o'clock, and then Sunday's 1:35 will be I believe 10:35, 11:35 our time, so early game here for the boys in blue as they take their first test of the season on the road. I know they went to Korea. They went out overseas and they did well, but let's see how they do this time on the East Coast against a caliber Phillies team. As we wrap up tonight, partner, what are your final thoughts about tonight's overall events in sports? Looks like we lost our connection with Jesus. We're gonna see if we could get him back in. Um, oh, there he is.
Sorry, partner. We had a little error on our. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So
On
we
our
got you back
audio.
on. So
Overall, it was it's been a lot of sports going on in LA, but fortunately, a tough loss for the Lakers. The Warriors are sneaking behind them. Seems like three teams are sneaking behind them, so the Lakers have to step it up. I feel like they should get tomorrow's game, which will give them extra days for the next important game, and I think the Lakers should have it. But as JJ Redick mentioned, they're still working on their chemistry. But is it too late to work on that chemistry at this point of the season? Maybe. And you can't forget about the Angels, Dodgers, baseball coverage, amazing coverage. Hopefully, Angels make the playoffs. Too early to tell. And Dodgers, who would have thought they would still be unbeaten. And overall, good luck to the UCLA Bruins women's basketball. Let's say they could bring a check back to Southern California.
yes, we do want to wish the Lady Bruins very well. Big weekend coming up in sports. Again, we'll have the women's. The Bruins will play tomorrow night. In the Final Four. Hopefully, they'll be able to advance to the championship match. We got the Dodgers and Angels. We got the Angels home opener this weekend. We got the Lakers playing back to back this weekend here in LA. Don't forget about the Clippers as well. They're still in action. Also, the UFL is back. They're kicking out their second week, so we'll see how that goes. And then don't forget the draft is coming up in 3 weeks. Also, the Long Beach Grand Prix is coming too, so we'll update you on that. And then there'll be events, and we're trying to see if we can do a stream event at the Grand Prix if we're able to. If not, then we'll just do a regular live stream. We're hoping to be in the podcast studio next week as the semester winds down. Big things coming up. Season 5 is starting, so we're going to have a busy April here. So don't miss out anything. You can subscribe here on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Sports Talk with Ed on YouTube. You can go back and view our previous episodes, but looking forward to this month of April. We're looking forward to the summer as we get close to the end as we get to football season in September. But we got baseball and the Lakers and playoffs. So do not miss because you'll be left behind. That's for sure. Partner, any final thoughts before we call it a night?
Another good episode. Glad we're back. It's gonna be a busy month of sports overall, and just glad to be back. It's just another day, another podcast.
Yeah, partner, and I know you've been sick too, so hopefully you feel better, and hopefully by the next episode you'll be fine. But we'll see. We can get Sean to fill in for you if you're not able to. We'll try to reach out to him this week too. I know he's going to be at Angel Stadium working. Um, Also, just to update, because many asked me about me, due to certain conflicts of interest, unfortunately, I was forced to resign from the Angels, so I'm no longer in that parking structure with Sean. He's pretty much on his own, so best of luck to him. But we'll give him some Jolly Ranchers or something on the way over. But we'll see how that goes. But partner, thanks for joining me tonight. Again, I hope you get your rest, and we'll see you later on. And get ready for the month of April.
Definitely, partner. Back at you for sure.
And we thank everyone for watching us on this Thursday night. Guys, have a great weekend, and we'll see you this weekend on Sports Talk. Good night.